these are my opinions. They're not written in stone. You kind of modify it.
It's also your experience.
In my experience, right?
Do they have a lawnmower?
Do they have a lawnmower, right?
Do they have a working lawnmower?
So, that math just does not math to me, and I'm not a mathematician.
Welcome to 99 Adventures, the podcast where the campsite stories are all about the RV lifestyle. We're your hosts, Alan and Kim, fellow lovers of all things RV living. Here on 99 Adventures, we explore the highs and hiccups of life on wheels, whether it's discovering hidden gems off the beaten path or tackling the realities of RV living. But we're not just about the travel, we're about the taste, too. In every episode, we'll cook up something special right from the RV kitchen or campsite. So get hooked up, grab your skillet, and let's hit the road. It's time for 99 Adventures, where the journey and the flavors never stop.
Welcome back to another episode of 99 Adventures.
What's going on, guys?
This episode is a little more back to the podcast format because we just have a couple things that we want to chit-chat about today. First of all, happy fall.
Yeah, the weather's nice.
It's been nice.
Got all the windows open.
Yeah.
Breeze coming through, smoking a pork loin on the smoker.
Yeah. So we do have something cooking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And why are we dressed alike?
I don't know. I'm just glad I don't have the same t-shirt on I normally have on.
Okay. Well, we're definitely going to talk about some lessons learned with work camping. Alan's going to talk through, but before we get to that, we want to touch base a little bit about emergency preparedness. If you're new to the channel, Alan and I spent the summer near Durango, Colorado at Vallecito Lake, and we work camped. Well, Alan work camped at Blue Spruce RV Park there in the valley, in the Vallecito Valley area. And just recently,
Well, hold on just a sec.
Mm-hmm.
So we're circling back on a couple of things.
Okay.
One, work camping. Now that we have more of a comparison, because the first one was our first one. Mm-hmm. Now we're at our second one, so we have some apples and oranges to compare. The second thing is, and before you get into the event of what occurred at Vallecito, we had done a previous episode about emergency preparedness, right? And
I'll link it here.
Yeah, we'll link it back so you might be able to catch up. But we did that, and ironically, the whole Guadalupe River in South Texas was going on, right? And that's what kind of prompted the episode. And then right after we left Vallecito area, they had a major flood, and Kim can go back into that, but I wanted to clarify what the episode was about and why we're repeating some of our previous stuff so everybody's on the same page.
Currently, we are in Medina, Texas, right outside of Kerrville. So the major flood that happened at 4th of July weekend in Kerrville, along the Guadalupe River, which included Kerrville, we are just about
12 miles.
Yeah, 12 miles from that spot, from the Guadalupe River in Kerrville, where, a lot of the major flooding happened, and there was dozens of lives lost and things like that. So we're going to couple that with the fact of what happened a couple of weeks ago, and which was about 2 weeks after we left the RV park. They had some major rains come through. Some of it was part of remnants from a hurricane that had come from the Pacific Ocean, and then they had some other rain events. The entire area was flooded and evacuated.
Mandatory evacuation.
Including the RV park. They had to sandbag the area. One of the biggest thing that prompted this conversation for us to come back to talking about the emergency preparedness thing is that at the RV park in Colorado, they used WhatsApp to communicate. The manager of the park, when everything was going on, she was in a meeting with emergency services, the sheriff's department, and things like that there in Colorado, and she sent out an all call that to say to everyone, we were still on the app, we were already gone by this point, but that it was mandatory evacuation, grab your bag and go. Now's the time. And so that
And
was,
we talked about making
Yeah.
a go bag, right?
and so we just want to go back to this because the flooding here in Texas in 4th of July was a flash flood. And it was overnight and took a lot of people.
Same thing in Colorado.
Yeah.
That was a flash flood.
Flash flood. And so we just want to reiterate the importance of having that go bag ready to go, having an emergency preparedness checklist, which I'll include a link to this in the description below. We've just been so close to it. We haven't had to do it,
No.
but we've been just like so very close to it, and it's been hitting really close to home, and we just feel how important it is to be ready.
You need to be prepared regardless of where you live. I don't care if that's in a house or whatever, but even more so in an RV. I just feel like you don't have the added protection and so forth in an RV, just paperwork alone. And so those are very important things to be part of that go bag. Life insurance documents, pet medication, vaccines, all
Your
those
medication.
your medications, all those types of things are all come into play because Debbie, the manager at Blue's Fruits,
Okay.
she literally said, "Go,
Go.
like,
Yeah.
grab a bag and go."
That was literally what her
That's
message-
literally what it said. And so how much time if you're not prepared and don't already have somewhat of a bag already put together, how long does that take you?
The other thing, and we did talk about this on the previous episode, but if you know there is weather coming, just know where you're at. If you're traveling, know what county you're in, know the zip code area you're at. Have a weather radio handy that you can keep up with, because if electricity goes out or phone lines go down, or you're where we're at right now, there is no cell service, and if our internet goes down, we have no communication. Nothing. This could be the only way we know what's going on, just a weather radio. So like I said, I'll include this emergency checklist that you can use or
Modify as you see fit.
and just reiterate how important it is to be ready. Right now, things are beautiful, like across the whole country. It's so quiet and leaves are turning, the skies are blue, but that can change at any time.
Are you ready to transform your RV adventures? With Harvest Host, you can park your RV at thousands of unique destinations across America. Think wineries, farms, museums, and more. As a member, finding and booking your next location is a breeze with the easy-to-use Harvest Host app. Within the app, you can find spots that offer multiple overnight stays, and others even provide hookups for extra comfort. Why settle for a crowded parking lot? Ditch the ordinary and relax at a Harvest Host location on your next camping trip. And here's the best part. Our listeners and followers get 20% off the annual membership. Just use code 99adventures20 at checkout and start your adventure today.
All right, so moving on.
Work camping. Gig number 2.
Yeah.
So not all work camping gigs are created equal. All right.
Well, do you want to go back a little bit and talk about like why we decided to do this and how we fell into?
Well, I mean, work camping for me is I'm retired, right? And it literally keeps me busy. And that is the only reason why we work camp, or I work camp. There's benefits, added benefits, like you get your site for free, electricity for free. There's other perks at certain parks, propane, firewood. It just depends on the park. And what they're offering, right? I do it just to stay busy, literally. We could pay for a park, any park that we wanted to.
A spot at any
A
park.
spot at any park that we wanted to, anytime that we wanted to. But the main thing is just keeping me busy, because Kim still works during the week and I can't just sit here in the RV and do nothing. So it keeps me busy, and then the bonus is we get stuff for free, right?
And we decided to do this back in the spring and came across the opportunity in Colorado. That was our first work camping gig. We apparently found a gem, a needle in a
Yeah,
haystack.
diamond in the rough, probably.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great crew of people, a beautiful park in a beautiful location, and easy to work with. The management, I even helped and stepped in during events, clean up, things like that, because I wanted to, right? I mean, I felt like that was part of, the
Yeah,
perks
and
of
you weren't
staying there.
obligated to do that. It's just something
But they
to do.
made it very easy, and when you're in that environment and you're enjoying the people that you're with. All right, so we had to stop for a minute. We got a phone call, but
Oh, a work camping phone call, by
yes.
the way.
As a matter of fact, it was.
Anyway,
Anyway.
we were talking about, why I do what I do in regards to work camping. So we're going to do a comparison of kind of the two work camp jobs that we've done. Even though I'm very young, very early stages of this one, there are significant differences, right? One of the things that I want to clarify is everybody's work camping scenario is different, right? I stated before that I'm retired. I do it because I want to and I need to be active, right? So, but there could be instances where people that are watching or new subscribers or whatever, that may not be the case and you need to work. Two very different scenarios there. So what I'm doing is I've developed a little checklist of the things that I feel are important for you to discuss with a future employer, i.e. work camping. We'll just go down the list, but first and foremost is these are my opinions. They're not written in stone. You kind of modify it.
It's
as
also
you-
your experience.
in my experience, right, is do an actual interview, whether that be a telephonic interview or a Zoom or on Teams or whatever. It gives you a good idea of the kind of people that you're going to be working for.
A lot of times they want to interview you, but it's just as important, I think, right?
Well, that's what I'm going to get into, is that it's not just them interviewing you, you get to interview them.
And that's important.
that-
That's something we've learned.
That is something that I've really learned. The second thing is to get a very firm, transparent understanding of the duties, right? And so not everything that is discussed, you may be thinking that you're signing up for a maintenance job and that's what you're good at and that's really what you want to do. But when you get there, they say, oh, go help housekeeping or
Go clean bathrooms.
Go clean bathrooms or stuff. If that's something that you don't want to do, then you need to have already said that, right? Especially if you're not in my position where I'm retired, I can just go to another campground. If you're hit there and you need the funds, well then, it's a different scenario, right? You're stuck with that until you find a different gig. So be very transparent about the things that you want to do versus the things that you won't do. And if that's not understood right from the get-go, before you get there, then you could run into trouble. You could travel thousands of miles for something that you don't like, right? Park equipment, right? This is kind of a big one for me. Is the place that we're at right now is very large, and we're not going to name the name of the place.
No, but it's 100 acres.
It's 100 acres, right?
with
40 something
cabins and 50 RV spots.
maybe more than that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
ish. It is a very
Large area.
campground.
And so ask about their equipment, right? What kind of lawnmower do they have? Is it a
Do
zero?
they have a lawnmower?
Do they have a lawnmower, right?
Oh,
You know,
do they have a working
working lawnmower, right?
for 100 acres?
So, or you might find yourself weed eating 100 acres
Or
an acre, or whatever
Literally.
whatever the case may be. I mean, we joke about it, but it's serious, right? If they have working equipment that kind of goes along with the kind of park that's being managed, right?
Correct.
Working equipment is well taken care of, speaks volumes for the kind of park that you're going to.
Well, and I think too, it speaks to who's managing the park, and if it's not the owner, maybe who the owner is, and what that relationship
What their
is.
response is to problems.
Yeah,
right?
their response
How
to
quickly
problems.
are they getting stuff taken care of, right?
You all probably are reading between the lines that these are definite things that have come up. But even at our previous spot, there were things that that broke.
Right, but there was a response.
There was a
right?
response.
There was a response, and it was a timely response.
Yes, it was.
And the expectation wasn't for you to do anything that was really and truly unrealistic.
Yes.
Right.
Like mowing
to ask-
acres. I'm not mowing, weed eating acres
Yeah.
of land.
The last thing is, and those three, not in any order, are very important things to discuss with a future employer. The last thing is, do they have internet? And I mean,
Service.
cell service. I would have never in a million years, if you told me we were going to the back country of Colorado, I'd have been, heck, I might have asked, is there internet service?
Not
But
internet, but cell.
Cell service,
service.
right? Well, cell goes to internet too, right?
Right.
I would have bet a retirement check that anywhere in this area that we're at, if you'd have told me that they didn't have cell coverage, I'd have been like,
I'd have been
no,
shocked.
there's no way. There's no way.
But-
and when I mean no cell service, I'm talking about not one provider works.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not Verizon, not AT&T, not T-Mobile. No one.
It's nothing.
No one works.
Nothing.
And it's this
Your phone literally stays on SOS.
SOS. So when I mentioned about the emergency preparedness, I'll say it again. Like, we are able to get calls and texts and those kinds of things, but only because of Starlink. And when we got here, we were just going to keep our T-Mobile. If you've watched, we've talked about the fact that you need to have multiple sources of internet, especially if you work on the road. When we got to Colorado, the Starlink didn't work because of the tree coverage. So we moved over to the T-Mobile. So we were just going to keep the T-Mobile until we got here, and they didn't tell us that. That was not anything that they said, hey, we need you to be aware, there's no cell service here. We had to ask one of the other workers, hey, we notice on our phones we don't have cell service and our T-Mobile internet isn't working. And they're like, oh no, there's no cell service here. And it's about a 5-mile span on either side of the park that there is no cell service. So you actually have to drive that far before you even get back into range. So
Yep.
it's a thing.
Yeah, I could go on about the differences, but right now those are the major
But
differences.
the other thing that we learned
What?
about the W-9,
Yeah.
and we don't know a lot of information about this, but
Yeah, we have another summer gig, and come to find out, that's a W-2 position. So, that math it does not math to me, and I'm not a mathematician, but they give you a W-2 at the end of your term for however much that spot was for that time period is the W-2 that they give you, right? So it could be $3,000, $4,000, something like that. Well, then I have to turn around and I have to go claim that on my taxes and pay taxes. So you essentially are going to pay them to
work.
go volunteer for them for the summer.
Right. And you become a contract worker, so that money, there was no taxes taken out, right? If you had gotten paid, and so then when we go to do our taxes, we're going to have to claim that and then pay that. Then Maine has a state income tax. So
Yeah,
we
how
have
does
no
that
clue
how does that even come into
works.
play? You know, we're in Texas. We've
We
never
don't
had
have a state income tax here.
So we'd have to figure that out. So
And would that play into, I mean, we would have to call our tax lady and have a conversation with Norma, our tax lady, and say, how would this even work? And so that's why we have put the brakes on that. And
yeah, I mean,
that
and
is
it's over 2,000 miles one way, right? So it's 4,000 miles. We have to pay for the gas to get there and back, the stops to get up there. So you're talking $1,500 in gas, maintenance on the truck, and places to stay on the way up there and back. And then I've got to pay taxes
yeah.
on that. Again, that math just doesn't math. So that's another thing to ask about campground wise, work camping. Hey, is it's a W-2 position?
Right.
Right? Because unless you're willing to, unless it's a paid position, it's a full-time position, 40 hours, then I would expect them to do a W-2.
Yeah.
But if it's a volunteer position and they're going to charge you, they're going to give you a W-2 on the amount that spot would have cost them had they been renting it the whole time, then if that's not something you're willing to accept, just be diligent.
But I think too, just the biggest takeaway I think is interviewing them as well as them interviewing you. And especially if you're going to be there for a season, 4 or 5 months, you're going to be there for a significant amount of time and you want to enjoy the experience. And I know we were very lucky in this first one that we did in Colorado. And this one, it's not going to pan out the way we thought. And
no hard feelings. I mean,
No.
it's just, we're in a position to where if we don't like what the position that we're in, we move.
yeah, that's the beauty of RV life too.
That's the beauty of RV life,
You don't
right?
like your spot?
If you don't like your neighbor, move.
You move.
If you don't like your work camping gig, go find another one, which I just did.
We did. So we will, we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do. But I think, again, looking at the Facebook group, work camping groups is a great opportunity to find things. They are constantly looking for people. I mean, I just sent him a state park in East Texas that is ready for somebody for the next few months, the winter time. And so they're looking for people all the time.
All over the country.
All over the country. That's right. So anyway, we still love work camping and enjoy it. I know Alan does. He likes being busy. He doesn't have to, it's not mentally draining. It's, you go do his thing and
Do my thing and move on.
all is good. So these are just some things that we've learned just in the difference between our first one and our second one. And this third one will be more like our Colorado one. It just will. We're already familiar with it, so
Yep.
it won't be a big deal. So, all right.
Now I've got to go check on my pork loin.
Yes, and the dogs are barking.
Yep.
So we're going to wrap this up for now. And
Like, follow, subscribe.
yes, please.
Yeah.
So do all the things and comment below if you have any other ideas on what you should be asking a company or an RV park or organization or whatever that you want to work camp at. Leave comments below about other questions. All right, so we will be back next time and for some adventures. We have some cool thing coming up next weekend, and that we're gonna bring y'all along with. And so we will see y'all on the next one.
See you guys.
Bye.